Well, Zoe's still in the workshop. It's too cold to go outside and there's snow on the ground, so she don't go outside. Now, when I shoot these videos, I try and make them as realistic as possible. I don't want to pre-program Zoe. I think the videos are more interesting where you can see where Zoe screws up. So I don't pre-program her with different things, but since I found this other artificial intelligence system, Acuitas, I want to try and expand Zoe's mind a little bit and teach her how to listen to a story. Now, if you watched my last video, and if you haven't, you should, you can see where I tell Zoe the same story that Acuitas was told by Jenny, and Zoe couldn't really handle a story. She's not programmed to do that. But what I want to do is add that functionality. Now, I don't have Jenny's code. Her code is in Python anyway. My code is in Visual Basic. So I am going to make a few changes. You may have noticed in my last video that at the end of the story that I told, I said the words "the end," and Zoe heard, her speech recognition heard, "the and." And I'll put a clip of that video in here. The end.
I am always happy to spread the word about robotics.
The end.
Didn't you just say that? Oh, I haven't a clue.
But I need to fix that, and that is a problem with Dragon speech recognition. So I'm going to see if I can fix that now. Okay, I'm going to click on vocabulary, add a new word or phrase, turn on the microphone, and I typed in "the end." We'll see what happens. The end. The end. You'll notice it still says "the and." I'll try it again.
It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage. But you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two.
The end. It did it again. So I've got another way to reprogram that.
Oh. My apologies. I will try not to do that again.
These buttons down here, which are very hard to see, this one right here says show input processor, and since my problem is with Dragon understanding the input, I can click on show input processor, and that allows me to fix what I call a hearing error, where I say one thing but she hears something else. And the words the and are usually never used together. So I can tell it to change the and to the end. The end.
I cannot help you fix dinner. I do not have any arms.
And now when I say the end, the end.
The front and rear battery trays in my drive section have now been shellacked.
Okay, I'd like to add some abilities to Zoe, like her friend Acuitas has. I want to be able to tell Zoe a story, and if you saw my last video, you'll notice that she didn't understand the phrase the end, which I think is very important because I want to use that as a command to tell Zoe that it's the end of the story, and I also want her to understand the command, I will tell a story. So it didn't work very well. So I've got Dragon running. It's listed up here at the top of the screen. And then I've got this text box open down here. Maybe I'll put that up there. Okay. So I'm going to try my two phrases that I wanted to teach her. But Zoe's program is not running right now. This is just Notepad and Dragon. I will tell a story. New line. New line. The end. Okay, as you can see, she's not understanding all the words I say. I don't know if I need to retrain her. I'm going to try this again. The end. The end. That's not what I want. I want END, not AND. Now I tried to train Zoe on just that phrase, and I'm going to have to try it again. Apparently, she didn't like it. Okay. I tried some phrases on Zoe. I tried reprogramming Dragon to listen to be able to hear the word the end, and she's still coming up with the and. So I've got another program to handle that. The phrase the and will probably never be heard because those two words just don't fit together. So I can change Zoe to hear the and replace it with the end. Okay, Dragon was not cooperating. So what I did is I have a button here, show input processor. It opens up this yellow screen. Raw input from Dragon was the and. And it gets cleaned, and once it's cleaned, it's all lowercase, and it says the and then it says hearing errors corrected, and it says the end. And what I did was I clicked this button here, edit hearing errors table, and that opens a window called Form Edit Substitution Hearing Errors. This form allows you to provide an alternate word for a word that Dragon hears incorrectly. And there's a find word and a replacement word. And I told it if it ever finds the and, to replace it with the end. So the next time I said it to Zoe, it said the end. Now I can set the end to be a command. So Zoe corrected the hearing error to the end, and that gets put in the ngram processor, and that breaks it down into the individual words, the end, the, and. But that's the one I want to program. So if I double click on that, it opens up this screen. And I showed you this before. This is my edit ngram. It's got my the end up there in the top. And I can set this as a command by giving it a command to call. And I'm going to call this one end of story. So this is going to set the phrase the end to the command end of story. And I'm going to click save.
You just asked me to do that. The remote method end of story does not exist in class commands simple. You need to create it.
Just because I assigned the phrase the end to the command end of story, Zoe said the remote method end of story does not exist in class commands simple. You need to create it. So Zoe can watch out for that command, but I haven't told her what to do with it yet. So I'm going to program another command. I will tell a story. So the ngram, I will tell a story, does not have a command. So if I double click on it in the ngram processor, it will open up this window that says I will tell a story at the top. And notice there is no command. And I will type in, I think I'll call it hear story. So that's that. And I will click save. I will tell a story.
The remote method hear story does not exist in class commands simple. You need to create it.
So again, it got the command. It says that I will tell a story. Now tries to execute hear story command. And Zoe says the remote method hear story does not exist in class command simple. You need to create it. So she'll be listening for that command, but she won't be able to do anything with it until I write some code. Well, you've seen this interface before, and I made a couple of changes to it. I added this section over here to tell me when Zoe goes into story mode or game mode, and these are modes that I'm trying to add that Zoe's friend Acuitas has. Well, you've seen this interface before. Notice Zoe's various modes: standby, verbose, learn, test, parrot, motion prohibited, and friendly mode are all in little check boxes there. And I've added this set of check boxes over here, and this is for skills that Zoe's friend Acuitas has: story mode and game mode. And I've added some new verbal commands, and we'll see what happens when I say those commands. I will tell a story.
Please do. I cannot wait to hear it.
So that puts Zoe into story mode. Let's try the next one. Exit story mode.
Exiting story mode. Yes, sir.
I will tell a story.
I hope that you tell me a good story.
Story mode off. Story mode off.
Exiting story mode. Command confirmed, Master.
I will tell you a story.
Oh goody. I love stories.
Story mode off.
Exiting story mode. By your command.
Story mode on.
Story mode on.
Exit story mode.
Story mode off. Sure, Tom.
So that shows all the various commands that Zoe accepts. When Zoe gets asked a question, she is supposed to tilt her head like she's thinking about it. Who has the book?
I have no data on the book, however. Scanning. Insufficient data to form a response.
Who took the book? So she's
The
thinking,
wealthiest man you know once took a big risk.
where is my truck?
Let me just mull that over. I cannot wash your truck. I might get wet. That would be bad.
Okay, check out Jenny's blog and stay tuned for more stuff from Zoe.